And everybody, welcome to hashtag VWE Live here at the Performance Center here in Empire City, where we will be hosting Wrestle Series 8. So, also, folks, just to let you know right off the get, if you have any comments and you want that to be streamed live here on hashtag VWE Live, definitely just go to Twitter and you'll have your tweets shown as using hashtag VWE Live, and we'll stream them across the all across the show here. Obviously, everybody should know me. If not, a little introduction. I am the most recognized voice in SL Sports Entertainment today, the voice of Detroit, Natas Brimmore. And joining me is Vic Romero. How you doing there, Vic?
I'm doing pretty good, Natas. Glad to be here in the amazing Empire City. This place is fantastic. The home of Wrestle Series 8. It's going to be huge.
That is going to be, and this is the last week before the biggest show of the year takes place, Wrestle Series 8. And it's going to take place December 9th here at the Empire City Coliseum at 4 p.m. SLT. Not only that, folks, but as you've heard before within the shows, there's a 10,000 Linden giveaway. It's going to be taking place during the show, courtesy of our friends at Brockman Industries. What do you think of that, Vic?
That's huge! As if there's not enough incentive to be at Wrestle Series to walk away with 10,000 Linden courtesy of Brockman Industries. I don't care who wins at Wrestle Series. You could be the biggest winner just showing up and being a fan.
I mean, honestly, just being at Wrestle Series, everybody's a winner in my book because of all the action that's going to take place. But you know what? Let's go ahead and let's go and recap the last week of the events going on. As at primetime though, the VWE Pulse champion took on Hamaso, and that right there, I don't know, Vic, did you end up seeing it?
I ended up seeing some highlights from the match. Knight not having his new manager Jessica Haikova with him, actually in Empire City dealing with what he called his endorsement deals.
But that's the thing about it is I think because Jessica wasn't with him, he kind of made some mistakes. As Tommaso did get the win, but it was not from the lack of effort. I mean, these two went back and forth, had a very physical confrontation in the ring, but then turn around and Knight went and made a mistake and by grabbing a chair and then getting super kicked for it. And
I saw earlier in the night that Knight had promised he was going to end Hamaso's career, and he looked like he was going to make good on it, going for that chair after the referee got taken out from a missed clothesline by the Arabian Knight. But Hamaso able to get up, super kick that chair into the face of Knight, and pick up the 3 count for the win.
And that was definitely the case of that. And, I mean, Knight may be good. He may be Pulse champion, but the thing about it is he made a fatal mistake. And is it because that Jessica wasn't with him? Or was it just that he was bent on making that promise of ending Hamaso's career? I don't know, but I know that he made a mistake, and it cost him dearly. But let's go ahead and get on edge as we had a match against Aphrodite and Maxine, and Hillary being, I guess, obviously, the comments of Megan was that, somebody paid her good money. Apparently Hillary did end up paying her good money to, or at least somebody good money to be a special guest referee. And that didn't bode well for Aphrodite. As the match went on, every time Aphrodite made a pin, it was one, and then something came up, or, Hillary was doing her job, checking the turnbuckle, making sure it was nice and tight, and didn't see the pin. What did you?
Well, we've seen it since old school. Hillary's had Aphrodite's number. She feels threatened. Besides the point that Aphrodite tried to help her after getting attacked at old school, but the way Hillary sees it in her table-hating induced state of mind, that Aphrodite's a newbie trying to take her spotlight.
And that's always been the case with Hillary, is this, Viola came in, she had a problem with her. Now Aphrodite, that's definitely not going, I mean, she had a little break from, newcomers with her deal with Christina Krovac. But then turn around and now Aphrodite has got her attention, and the only thing that's got her attention more is obviously the comm table. And the good doctor doesn't want to sit here and try to mediate these two. Go figure, right?
But I don't blame her. I don't want to get in the middle of that one either.
Well, in either case, but speaking of Christina Krovac, there was a triple threat, no holds barred, between Christina Krovac, Brooke Owens, and Crystal. And that right there was a matchup that really ended up making history that night. I mean, Crystal came out and got her say in it earlier that night and made the stipulation, made the match a no holds barred match, which was, for those folks at home, which means there was no countouts, no disqualifications, no rope breaks. So it got physical, and more physical than always. Toward the end there, Christina Krovac went up, got a table, went up on the top rope. Crystal met her, and then did that moonsault rock bottom there. She calls, I believe, crystallized. Don't quote me on that at this point, but ended up putting both of them through the table, and then Brooke Owens, being the opportunist she is, ends up pinning both of them for the 1, 2, 3.
Just a brutal, unrelenting match, but I think that's the only type of match they could have had to contain what these three, the animosity between them. We saw Crystal return, taking out both Christina and Brooke all the way back at old school, and it's just been nonstop ever since. The hate just brewing between the three of them, and I think it all culminated in this match. But like you said, Brooke Owens, being the opportunist she is, coming in and getting the 3 count and the victory. However, I don't think we've seen the last of these three going at it.
I don't think so either. I think somebody's ego's going to get all three of their egos are going to get a little big. Comes down to that. Now, speaking of egos, we had Jeffrey Fireguard taking on Braden Carson, and right there, that was a big matchup. Now, where do I get when I said egos? Well, Austin ended up trying to interfere, getting up on the apron, dangerous place, like as me and you know, and definitely he ended up paying for it as Braden came running at Jeff and turning around, and Jeff ducking under it, rolling under it, underneath around Braden, and Braden just running right into Austin and knocking him right over the ground, which caused Jeffrey to get the roll up and winning that matchup, and once again getting great momentum going into Wrestle Series 8.
Well, we've just seen this this rivalry between Jeffrey Fireguard and Austin Knight. This has been going on long before I got here. This has been heated, but I think it's really heightened up ever since Elimination Royale, when they came out. Him and his client, Derek Colt, came out to cost Jeffrey Fireguard his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And it's been nonstop ever since. Austin and Derek always getting at Jeffrey getting right back. This is going to get nasty, and I think this all comes to an end at Wrestle Series 8.
Well, that is going to be the case. I mean, we've got, see here, and Jeffrey ended up giving, giving Derek a haircut as he fell asleep in the cafeteria area. And yeah, that didn't make Derek, the human concussion machine, very, very happy. So turning around, and now Jeff made a very, very bold gamble as just to get his match at Wrestle Series against Derek Colt. He turned around and said that if he loses, he will give control of his contract to Austin. Now, Vic, can you understand the complications that could be for Jeff, the humiliation that Austin can actually cause Jeff being in control of this contract?
If Austin Knight gets control of Jeffrey's contract, he controls Jeffrey's whole career. Jeffrey could never have another title shot in this federation. He could be the joke of the VWE as long as Austin Knight says so. That is a huge bargain just to get his hands on his former mentor and friend, Derek Colt.
But there's a lot, and that's going to be coming to a head. Now, will he get his hands on Derek at Wrestle Series? I believe, and Austin has even said that, he accepts the terms. Is it made for Wrestle Series? That's going to be the question. Are we going to finally see this matchup at Wrestle Series? But coming to a lot of build-up, as we also had Cody, Houley, and Kurt Bombastic having a match for the VWE World Heavyweight title, and Cody ended up winning, but only by Ludi Graves, the man that has been coming in and basically, Kurt's been wanting to get face-to-face with, has came out and started running his mouth. Didn't really get into the match, but distracted Kurt, and knowing Kurt, he definitely wants Ludi. He didn't take his eyes off him, even though he had a bigger prize going into this match.
I think it's just despicable, absolutely despicable what Ludi Graves has been doing, coming in, running his mouth, and absolutely just griefing these shows. It's been ridiculous. He should have stayed banned like Stuart Wharf had him. But you know what? I'll give Kurt the benefit of the doubt. He gets his ban lifted, and he gets his match at Wrestle Series against Ludi, as long as Kurt beats the tar out of him.
Well, I'm not so sure on that, on whether or not I technically agree with you. I mean, you look at it, Ludi does have a mouth. But then once again, though, you need to understand that it was Kurt's fault for losing that match due to the fact that he got hit. He let Ludi distract him. He couldn't focus on Cody Houley. He should have put that aside long enough to get the 1-2-3 on Cody Houley and winning that title. But he let his anger get the best of him.
But what would you do in that situation, Natas? I mean, this despicable, vile creature, animal, not even a person, just coming in, running his mouth out, ruining these shows. Kurt trying to get out there and put on a match for the fans, and he comes in and starts doing all this crap, getting on Voice, saying all this garbage, making a ruckus. It's despicable. It goes against everything we try to do here at the VWE.
What I would do personally, and that's just from the outside sitting in, I would have ignored Ludi until I got the job done, and then I would have skipped grabbing the belt, go out and do exactly what Kurt did, and lay him out. But that's not how it happened, as Cody Houley retains and is going into Wrestle Series against the number one contender, the Crusader, Vince Easterwood. Now, folks, that has been this week. And can you only imagine the last week? Now, if you can only imagine what's going to happen this week, the week before Wrestle Series, it's all going to come together. and we will find out all the matches that are going to be happening here at Wrestle Series. And I'm rather excited. I don't know how you are there, Vic, but I'm rather excited to see what's going to happen, not just at Wrestle Series, which is December 9th at 4 p.m. SLT here at Empire City Coliseum. But I'm actually really interested to see what's going to be happening the week before. This leading up to it, as the Road to Wrestle Series is coming to a close.
How can we not be excited for this week? I mean, this is where everything is set. The stage is ready. The performers get in place for the biggest, I think it is, the biggest Wrestle Series of all time. Empire City, how can it get any bigger than this?
Well, I don't think it can, and make sure you folks, you are there, as we also have a press conference Wednesday, December 7th. The Golden Rope Awards Thursday. I mean, the whole week is just all going to be extremely big. Who's going, like with the Golden Rope Awards, who's going to win? You know, some of these great things. Like last year, it was best commentator, best face, best heel, best storyline. You know, the WTF moments. I mean, what can we expect to go on? I mean, there's definitely going to be some historical moments all week long.
This is by far and without a doubt the biggest week in Second Life Wrestling, period. Culminating in the biggest event in Second Life Wrestling anywhere. You do not want to be anywhere else but VWE in Empire City. That is a fact, folks.
I mean, just this week alone, we got some announcements concerning Wrestle Series 8, including a huge announcement for VWE Pulse on Thursday by Stuart Wharf himself. And we've got questions like, will Cody and Vince collide? Are they going to collide before Wrestle Series? Or even so, we've got matches on Edge. We're talking about, as we heard on Edge this last Friday, Rika Ohara is going to take on Maxine. And we have Benja Nirvana taking on Vince Easterwood. Not only that, but there's so much more going to go on that even we don't know about. It's just going to be a crazy, crazy week.
There are so many questions heading into this week to get answered. Like we talked about, Tommaso got a win over the VWE Pulse champion. What does this mean going into Wrestle Series? We have to see what Stuart Wharf has to say this Thursday on Pulse. And then, like you said, Rika Ohara going up against a member of the sorority in Maxine, one of Viola's sisters. And then again, we have Benja Nirvana colliding with Vince Easterwood.
But nonetheless, if you want to talk, speaking of Cody Houley, talking about him, we actually have a guest here today, and that guest is none other than the VWE Heavyweight Champion himself, the Cody Houley. So, Cody, how are you doing today?
Wow, finally. I thought he forgot about me, but look. I'm gonna introduce myself. You did an okay job, but I'm the reason everyone's watching the stream, right? That's what it was advertised. It was advertised as an interview with Cody Houley, and everyone came to watch. It's me. It's your god. It's the guy that likes to have an ice. It's your world heavyweight champion, 3-time world heavyweight champion, Cody Houley.
Now, Cody, how does it feel now, being a 3-time world champion? At this point, I mean, you've got to be really excited to, get your title, lose it, and then get it back, and then rinse or repeat.
I would say you could say I'm honored, you could say I'm proud, but look, If I say I was surprised, I'd be lying. If I say I was shocked, I'd be lying. I knew I'd be a three-time world heavyweight champion, probably more. It's just the fact of life. I'm better than everyone else. And if you're better than everyone else at what you do, you're going to be the world heavyweight champion. But look, I'm going to be a three-time world champion for the rest of my career because I'm never losing it. So, yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be the guy that runs the VWE, right?
Well, I mean that is for sure. And folks, if you have any questions for Cody Houley, definitely go ahead and ask them at hashtag VWE Live on Twitter, and we will ask them. But now, as it came up, as apparently one of the viewers asked us, how did you ever come up with "Have a Nice"?
You see, it's a long story, but if the viewers want to hear it, I might as well say it, right? Look, have a nice. Have a nice basically means it means you're having a nice. So you're walking around and you're in a good mood. You're having a nice. You're eating a chocolate chip cookie and it tastes good. You're having a nice. You're watching Cody Hooley steal the show like he does every single week. You're having a nice. Because how can you have a nice if you don't have a nice, right? So have a nice.
But nice is an adjective though. A nice what?
Look,
What
look,
is
nice is whatever God wants nice to be, and God says have a nice is a thing, so it's a thing.
Okay. Oh. Um. I don't know if I completely understood that, but there you go, folks. That's how he came up with "Have a Nice."
The
I
smart, the
think.
smart viewers, the smart viewers will understand what have a nice means. You don't because you're an idiot, and Vic, you don't because you sound stupid. Get on to the next question.
Okay. So at Wrestle Series, you're going up against Vince Easterwood. Do you feel prepared?
Do, wait, do I feel prepared for Vince Easterwood? Who the hell is Vince Easterwood? It's not like I'm facing Derek Cult or I'm facing uh whoever is a big monster that can kill me in 2 minutes. Well, let's face it, no one can kill me in 2 minutes. It's Vince Easterwood. He's a midget, he's blonde, he looks stupid, he prays to a guy that doesn't exist. Look, I'm prepared. I've been prepared for every single match I've been in. And Vince Easterwood, I've fought with Vince Easterwood several times, and I've beaten him several times. I beat him at Beach Brawl. I beat him on several different Edge. I beat him on Prime Times. I beat him everywhere. He's not gonna beat me at Wrestle Series. I don't know why people are getting excited. Oh, Vince is finally gonna win the World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, Cody's not gonna be champion anymore. Whatever. Look. Vince is not winning anything. He's a failure. He's a failure in life, and he's gonna fail at Wrestle Series again.
So
Well, we
here
have
comes.
one of our. Oh, go ahead, Natas.
Oh, go ahead. We're probably going to say the same thing. So go ahead, Vic. You were first at it.
We do have another question, a follow-up to that on Twitter, asking how bad is Vince Easterwood going to lose? Just a little bad or really bad?
How bad am I gonna lose, or how bad is Vince Eastwood gonna lose?
How bad is Vince going to lose?
Oh, it's gonna be bad. I may make it exciting, I may keep him in the match for a few minutes just to get the fans a bit hyped up. But at the end, I'm gonna win. See, Vince is good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good wrestler. He's good at best, and that's me being nice. That's me having a nice. Um, and he's nothing more than good. I'm the best, and at Wrestle Series, you'll all see that Vince's hands are just too short to box with God.
Well, aren't you being just a little
Well then.
bit, how do you say, underestimating the Crusader? That
How can,
that's just me. I mean, he has beaten Derek Hall.
yep, he has beaten Derek Cult, and so have I. He has beaten Kurt Bombastic, and so have I. He's beaten a lot of people, but so have I. And guess what? Newsflash, I've beaten Vince Eastwood before, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm not underestimating Vince Eastwood, because he's been following me for the past year. He's been behind me at everything I do. He's been stalking me. and I've studied him more than I've studied anyone else, and I know what to expect, and I know that I'm gonna beat Vince Eastwood. I'm not underestimating him. I'm just the better wrestler.
Well, I mean that is, I mean that obviously that belt is proof at least until Wrestle Series. But now got another question from more of a statement, but still a question. It says here that Cody Houley has some talent, but let's face it, he's no god. He can't handle the legends of VWE, and he knows it. What are your thoughts on that?
The legends of the VWE, right? The legends. Who are the legends? Huh? Ludi Graves, is he considered a legend? Because he came out last week on Edge and he got his face kicked in, right? Seth Cameron, is he a legend? No, he's not a legend. Look, I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I've been here for 6 years. I've beaten basically everyone put in front of me. I'm a three-time World Heavyweight Champion. I won the King of the Arena. I won in an Elimination Dome match. I've done it all. So, if you want to talk about legends of the VWE, there's no bigger legend than God. And wait, he said I'm not God. See, people like him annoy me because people like him actually know I'm God. They believe I'm God. They're just in denial because all their lives they've been believing that there's someone up in the sky that answers their prayers. No, no, I've been answering your prayers. I am God. When you go to church the next time, put both your middle fingers up in the air and tell that guy you believe you are not God, because my God is Cody Houley.
So let's go back a little bit because you ended up suffering a broken back and were taken out for a year. I mean, regardless, I mean, to me, that's kind of a miracle. That should be your biggest accomplishment. Next to winning the VWE heavyweight title. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you feel that that should be more, how do you feel coming back from a back injury like that, a broken back?
Um, See, that's the first good question you've asked. It's an accomplishment. You're right. I broke my back and I was out for a year, but I came back stronger than ever. I came back better than ever, and I came back and I won the world title. And yet, people still don't think I'm God. I mean, I came back and I was put into an Elevation X match, right? My first match, well, not my first match, my second or third match back. I was up on that platform and I fell off down to the ring with my surgically repaired back, right? I still got up and the next week I was out and I was wrestling again. No human being can do that. No normal person can do that. That's just more proof that I'm God. Let's forward a few months, right? King of the Arena, ladder match, 6 men, Derek Cult and some other people I don't remember. I was in the match and I was put through a table, put through the announcer's table. Not a normal table, the announcer's table. I was practically dead. I was dead. My heart stopped. I was dead. I was gone, right? People were climbing up. People were fighting. They all died. They all fell on the floor. They're all dead. The angels from above came down from the sky and they resurrected their God. They resurrected me and somehow I found myself on top of the ladder holding on to the briefcase. That's after being put through the table, so you could imagine how much pain I was in. The week after that, I didn't waste any time. I cashed in my Money in the Bank versus Jeffrey Fireguard. I went on to have a match with Jeffrey Fireguard. I beat Jeffrey Fireguard. I went in an Elimination Dome match with 6 other men, and I won. I mean, please, please find someone that has the accomplishments that I do. Please.
Well, I can't say that I know anybody that, at the very least came back from a broken back or even anywhere near a serious injury like that. How about you, Vic?
I do have a question, in fact, because see, I do notice that Cody, you keep mentioning this one name. Every other name slips your mind, but you keep mentioning one name, Derek Colt. Now, you were talking about legends before from a question that was asked. Do you consider Derek Colt a legend of the VWE?
Do I consider Derek Cult a legend? Derek Cult, Derek Cult, yeah, I have to admit he's a legend, but he still can't. He's nothing compared to me, right? No one is anything compared to me. But Derek Cult, I keep mentioning Derek Cult because first of all, he's the guy that trained me. He's the guy that made me as good as I am right now. Well, not he didn't make me as good as I am. He gave me the tools to be as good as I am, and I just took the ball and I ran. But Derek Cult, he's a legend. I mean, you can ask anyone in Second Life Wrestling. Everyone looks up to Derek Cult. But we go back to the point that Derek Cult is just an old fart. See, there are people that are just old and have to leave and just retire. See, people like Seth Cameron, Brockman Wilder, all those people, they took the smart way out, right? They saw Cody Houley was becoming the greatest wrestler of all time, and they packed their bags and they left. And I think Derek Cult should do the same, and also Benja Nirvana, and also Vince Easterwood. They should all just take their bags, go home, go to a retirement home, go to bingo halls, go wherever, and just vanish from the world because no one cares about them anymore. People care about Cody Hooley. People care about God. People care about the VWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm never ever losing this title.
Well, I mean, you say that nobody cares about anybody else but you, but yet there isn't any more of your cult floating around as my count, the last member of your cult ended up leaving you over a statement you made, and yet even Jeffrey Fireguard is getting more and more support. How do you feel of that
D-
going into Wrestle Series?
don't put Jeffrey Fireguard and Cody Hooley in the same sentence. Just don't. Look, the cult of Cody was something started by people that believed in God, right? There are people still out there that believe in God, but they're scared. They're scared to admit that they believe that I'm God because, the world is filled with bullies and bad people. And once they say, oh, Cody Hooley is God, people are going to pick on them. People are going to make fun of them. People are going to call them crazy like you do. Like you call me crazy every single week, right, Natas? It's just a fact of life. They're protecting themselves, and I would just want them to know that I'm protecting them too.
Well, I mean, that's just a opinion that I have. So that's just me. Um, so we got another question coming up going from our audience. How does it feel to always have wrestled in the shadow of the German sensation Ludi Graves?
Wait. Who asked the question? I'm curious.
Well, it ends with hashtag still awesome.
Yeah, okay. So Ludi Graves is asking me how it feels to have always wrestled in the shadow of Ludi Graves, right? Look, Ludi Graves, he's another old fart that retired, but now he came back because he was probably bored of their time at home. He's probably bored because no one cares about him anymore. So he came back and he started, being this troll that everyone is afraid of. Look, Ludi, you're back, right? You're back and you're going after probably the weakest wrestler in the VWE, Kurt Bombastic, and yet you're still gonna lose to Kurt Bombastic at Wrestle Series and you're not gonna have a contract. But if somehow you beat Kurt Bombastic and it's not that hard, I promise you, if you just try, it's not that hard. Cause guess what? I beat Kurt Bombastic. If you just try hard enough and you beat Kurt Bombastic, Ludi, I beg you. I beg you to get in the ring with me because I will wrestle circles around you.
Well then, Cody, I think we need to be wrapping this up soon, but I do have one more question for you, and it's got a couple parts to it. So let's say you do go to Wrestle Series, and you do as you say, and you beat Vince Easterwood again and retain your VWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, we've already mentioned this colossal match between Jeffrey Fireguard and Derek Colt, two people you've already mentioned. Now, I have to imagine that the winner of this match is expecting to get a shot at your title next. You have Jeffrey Fireguard, who you took the championship from already, and as you said, Derek Colt, the man who gave you the tools to make you who you are. How do you feel about either of them being your next opponent for your title. If you can beat Vince Easterwood at Wrestle Series.
When I beat Vince Easterwood and when Jeff and Derek kill each other, I wouldn't mind fighting any of them. But look, Derek's gonna beat Jeffrey. It's just a fact of life. Jeffrey's not that good. Jeffrey has people that support him, and good for him. People come every week and they all want their misfit, right? I beat Jeffrey Fireguard twice. Well, if you want to count the Dome, 3 times. If you want to count the Fatal 4-Way, 4 times. He's not that good. He probably can hit me on the head a couple of times with repeated headbutts. It doesn't affect me. I beat Jeffrey Fireguard, and Derek Cult is just that good, and he's gonna beat Jeffrey Fireguard. And once Derek beats Jeffrey Fireguard, if he wants a shot at my World Heavyweight title, I'm sorry, Derek, you're not gonna get it. Even though I kind of respect you, I have the tiniest amount of respect for you, you're not gonna get the world title match, just so you know, and neither are you, Jeffrey, whatever happens.
All right. Well, thank you there, Cody. Good luck at Wrestle Series, which is going to be December 9th at 4 p.m. SLT. But let's see what goes on this week as we have primetime Wednesdays at 5 p.m. SLT, Pulse on Thursday at 3 p.m. SLT, and Edge on Friday at 6 p.m. SLT. And definitely going to see where you go, and I can't wait to really see you and, if you make it to Wrestle Series, and if and when you do, you and the Crusader clashing on that day.
Me and Vince Eastwood stealing the show. Thank you very much. And don't ever wish me luck. Everyone watching the stream, don't wish me luck, because luck is for losers, and God doesn't need luck. God makes his own luck.
Though that may be true. But folks, it's going to be a big week here for the VWE as we are on the brink of a historical event as VWE presents its 8th edition of Wrestle Series. So make sure you're there as the action unfolds. You will see Cody Houley and Vince Easterwood. You will see, depending on how this week goes, Rei Kurihara taking on Viola Beaumont and so much more. So definitely be here and stay tuned. Also, we have Ludi Graves taking on Kurt Bombastic at Wrestle Series. Got Jeffrey Fireguard and Derek Cult. But it all depends on what's going to happen this week. So make sure you are here at Primetime, Pulse, and Edge to see what happens next. So right now, I believe we're running out of time. So I've been your host, the most recognized voice in SL Sports Entertainment today, the voice of Detroit, Natasha Grimmore.
And I've been your co-host, Slick Vic Romano.
And no. People came to see me. People have to see me leave. I have been your VWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'm walking in World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm gonna leave Wrestle Series World Heavyweight Champion. Goodbye, and have a nice.
And we will see you guys on either Primetime, Edge, or Pulse. And definitely at Wrestle Series.